What up, y'all? It's TYR, and today we're gonna be trying to finish Pokemon X and Y's scrapped files. These are the alleged scrap notes of what Pokemon X and Y was really supposed to be about. We talked about all kinds of stuff, the truth about Mega Evolution, the truth about what the fairy type was supposed to be, and why Team Flare was so unusual in the final product, what they were really supposed to be about. Now let's see if we can wrap it up. I do want to note, it's funny that in between the posts of this alleged leaker, you got someone commenting saying, "Where Ruby Sapphire remix at?" March 4th, little does he know, just 2 months away. We're kind of in the same situation right now, right? Where the next game's at. It is the end of April right now. May is an appropriate time to, if anything is coming this year, see some news on that. But again, if anything is coming this year. It's just funny how this counterparts us right now. That's kind of a gen back. Where Gold and Silver remix at? Or Black and White. Here we go. At one point in Pokemon X and Y's development, there was planned to be a town that rested atop a giant Avalugg floating on an frozen ocean. And there would have been a segment where you rode atop a smaller Avalugg across the water as well. But both of these scenarios never came to be, and a snow area of Kalos was landlocked instead. So they're saying that whole Snow Point City section was supposed to be a vast lake or tiny ocean, where the Pokemon Center and the humans had houses built on a giant Avalugg. And that was going to be the whole culture of that city. This is a fun point because, you know, you got Pokemon like Rhydon and Tyranitar who can actually surf. They learned the move Surf, and it's meant to be kind of a joke. I mean, a surfing Rhydon. But Avalugg is one of these Pokemon too. It can surf. It can learn the HM Surf, despite it not having special attack and it being totally pointless. And then in the overworld, you can see, especially in Sword and Shield, Avalugg floats like an iceberg. This is the kind of ambitious thing that would be scrapped too. That is visually such a cool city to have. And remember, Snow Point would be post Team Flare. It's that one city or town that's after Team Flare. So to give it that unusual look is actually fitting. So I'm just gonna pull up a map of France real quick. And so this is the Kalos region, of course, right? It cuts off around here. Southern Kalos we never really get to go to. Never really is an understatement. We don't get to go there at all. Snowbell City would be somewhere around here. And as you can notice, there is no water in sight anywhere right here. So maybe if we were to believe what this alleged leaker is saying, the entire concept of Snowbell City wasn't supposed to be here. It was supposed to be you traveling somewhere up here, because if you overlay the Kalos map beside this, there's a lot of water that's actually in this place. Here's the counterpart, right? Snowbell City's here. This is where all that water would be. So maybe at this point in the game, after you deal with Team Flare, there would actually be a whole Avalugg City that you have to set out and find. And that would be where Wulfric, the 8th gym leader, is. And he'd be talking to you about this whole Pokemon village that he's taking care of. That would actually be a cool system if the Avalugg City actually changed places. So it's kind of like Mirage Island in Pokemon Emerald. So in Pokemon Emerald, you'd have this dude looking out a window and it would say, "Yo, homie, I can see Mirage Island." And then you can surf to the island. But if he says he doesn't see it, then you can't surf to it. So in a similar situation, maybe if you go to these various points, one of them will say, "Hey, I can see Snowbell City." The old version, and it would be in one of 4 random locations around Kalos because it's always floating around. That is such a cool idea. This is actually something Pokemon has done before, outside of the Mirage Island example, in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. I don't know if y'all remember this, but in the post-game, when it comes to the Weather Institute, the way you get Kyogre and Groudon is their caves have to spawn randomly in your game. So you talk to the Weather Institute and they'll say, "Yo, it's sunny in Route 115, and you have to go there very fast, and you might see Groudon's cave opened up there. If you don't get there fast enough, Groudon's cave is closed and it might spawn somewhere else." So in the same way, if not the first idea I said, maybe you just have it so it only spawns in one place, but at times it's not even there at all. So you have to have someone tell you, "Hey, Snowbell City is nearby right now, you can go to it, and only during those times can you go to it." That is a fun idea, and this man just speaks out of his ass and I make so much out of it. What kind of smoking pistol would it be if in Legend ZA, like in the post game, there's actually an Avalugg City that you can go to that's outside of Lumios? Imagine something like that happens. Anyhow, let's keep going. Noibat and Noivern's similarities to Woobat and Swoobat aren't completely coincidental. They're just bats, bro. Nah, bro. Hold on, let me look up Noibat. Who in their right mind thinks frickin' Woobat looks like Noibat? They're completely different. You better not say some whack crap, bro. Noibat and Noivern's similarities to Woobat and Subat aren't completely coincidental. I can't read that sentence without pausing. What are you talking about, bro? They don't even look anything like each other. Am I missing something? Okay, let me just put them on screen. Woobat, Swoobat, Noibat, Noivern. They have nothing in common, aside from them being about which is the same species. Fine, Noibat and Noivern's designs were created during the production of Gen 5 as one of the ideas for a new bat Pokemon to serve as Unova's Zubat, alongside Woobat and Swoobat, and a few other bat designs which never materialized. So they were gonna make like freaking 4 bad Pokemon lines that you'd find in caves? That's so annoying. That's like in Gen 1, Zubat appeared, Toobat appeared, Loobat appeared. I guess if they looked unique and like one of them was very strong, so you try to hunt that. Woobat and Swoobat were ultimately picked, but the team liked Noibat and Noivern. So why didn't they pick them? Yeah, we're gonna go with the second best designs, Steve. But the team liked Noibat and Noivern, so they decided to change them up a bit and put them in X and Y. You know, bro, of all the posts you could have made, you didn't have to give me a backstory to Noivern. It's like, you made your whole post look so ass from this one point here because no one asked. I can't believe you legit sat here and said Noibat and Noivern's similarities to Woobat and Swoobat are completely coincidental. There are no similarities! But if I want to try to make this guy's point, I will say this. Noivern's design is very interesting. It's a very fun design. It's got the big echolocation speaker types on its ears. So it's the kind of design that's so unique that they would be like, you know what? Let's just use that. And if I were to try to help you a bit more on your point, there is something Gen 5 did where they tried to introduce just a few more dragon types than what was normal for Pokemon. The Haxorus line, of course the Pseudo Hydreigon line. Also, you got Gerudogon, who's like, what is this, man? A random dragon in the game. So in the same nature as there being quite a few dragons, it makes sense there was supposed to be one more of this freaking bat. I don't buy your point though, bro. No way, legit, this someone had Noivern and Swoobat in the same room. And they picked Swoobat. And you're telling me that was their #1 pick at the time. Swoobat freaking sucks. Oh, see, now you're making me sad. It's smiling, it's got a heart for a nose. This Pokemon is hideous. What the hell is this? So now that I said this, they're gonna give you a Mega Evolution just to spite me. Let's go to the next one. Xerneas and Yveltal were actually switched in terms of color. This is a hard one to visualize. Hold up. Let's do it on screen. Stand in the center. So we got Xerneas and Yveltal. If you were to switch them... Okay, that hurts your eyes, bro. But I'm not gonna jump the gun yet because it's supposed to be unusual to us. A red Xerneas and a blue Yveltal. And you may say, well, red and blue, bro. Red represents death. There's no shot they would give that to Xerneas. But it's all about what you already have in your mind, because blue can look very lifeless, and that could fit Yveltal too. A very dark, gloomy color, kind of like a ghostly blue. Now, why would they swap them though? So Pokemon X and Y, what would the logos have looked like? A red X and a blue Y? Whoa. So, dude, that's actually so cool. You could have had a pink and red Xerneas, and then a blue and magenta / purple Yveltal. And so Pokemon X and Y, that's what the logos would have been. That kind of looked better. Why'd they switch it? Xerneas would have been red and Yveltal would have been blue. But the team decided to change things up a bit. Since red is the primary color and blue is the secondary color, it had already been used with Ruby and Sapphire. Oh, here I was waiting for the coolest explanation ever. And to Americans, also used with red and blue. Okay, so red and blue, let me explain this. Let's try to get your point settled down. We had Pokemon Red and Green come out in 1996. When it comes to America, they made it red and blue for some reason. So that's the red and then blue used. In 2002-3-ish, Ruby Sapphire comes out. That's red and blue. And that's universal, Japan and us. So now we got 2 red and blue games. So then when Pokemon X and Y were coming out, they were like, we can have red and blue again. So blue and red. It's the same thing. It's legit the same thing. No one sees it stacked in the store as red and then blue. It's not like someone walks in the freaking GameStop and they're like, Pokemon, a red cover, blue cover. I already played this. And then what the frick? Pokemon Scarlet and then Violet. It's pretty much red and then a demonic crapped blue. They used it anyway. That can't be the explanation I was so excited to hear. I wanted to know so bad why they swapped these colors. Can I tell you something? When I went to buy freaking X and Y in 2013, everyone freaking bought Pokemon Y. All there was a bunch of Pokemon X copies. Does someone have something against the X? There's something about that blue X that turns people off, bro. Y'all should not have swapped it. It might have balanced it out. Like, Y looked so cool, all red. Like, you know, Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, they're balanced. Black and White, they're balanced. Why was X and Y so unbalanced? Dialga, Palkia, Zekrom, Reshiram, Xerneas, and Yveltal. I guess no one just liked the deer. They hit the red and blue scheme so much that after they vouched to never do it after X and Y, they pretty much did it with Sun and Moon, bro. You tell me orange is not just red? Wait. So X and Y, blue and then red, Sun and Moon, red and blue, Sword and Shield. Blue then red, Scarlet and Violet, red then blue. What comes after Scarlet? Oh, it doesn't. Let's put this theory to the test. Gen 10 games. It's gonna be blue then red. This is so unusual. Shank that like button, y'all. We have one last post here. I'm not doing it. Zyger's written in this post. We'll cover it next time. End this chapter, and then I'll let y'all know whether I think this is a hoax or not. And I have a good answer for this. So let me know your thoughts. Do you believe one of these 3 points? You don't gotta believe everything that's in this post. Do you believe one of these 3 that we covered in this video? I'll see you on the next one. Take care.